for that, for sharing that. And basically we're just going to take just 5 to 10 minutes, and I just wanted to ask a few questions and to ask you to verify a couple of things. And they pertain to, to your background as a Mormon. So it relates to your journey from Mormonism to Islam. This question is on behalf of a friend of mine who couldn't be here today. But he pointed out an interesting point, which is that everyone that came after the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who claimed to be a prophet, each one of them had something that appealed to the people. So many people here would have heard of, for example, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad from India. And so what would have appealed about his message is that his message was more Punjab-centric, more India-centric, at a time when it was very difficult to do Hajj, because at that time the Arabian Peninsula had become quite chaotic and lawless, like Iraq is today. So it was unthinkable for many Muslims that they would be able to go on Hajj. So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad took the focus away from Mecca and he put it in India. And then similarly with Elijah Muhammad in the US, at a time when blacks were being severely oppressed by the white majority, he restored a sense of self-esteem in blacks. So that's what appealed about his message. The question then is that what is it about Joseph Smith's message, Joseph Smith being the prophet of Mormonism, what was it about his message that made it appeal to the people at that time? And what makes it appeal today? Is there something in it which makes it appeal to you today?
So, the Mormon Church, you have to know that the Mormon Church, they have one prophet, a living prophet today. That's what they say. There is a prophet of Allah, exalted he is above what they say, because the prophet of Islam, he said, is no messenger come after me. But they say that they have a prophet and he is the representative of Allah, and they have 12 apostles, and that's what attracting many people to the Mormon Church, because it was always from Adam until Jesus, peace be upon him. If you read the Holy Scriptures, they were priesthood established, and they were temples, and they were always prophets, and they had companions. As the prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him, had companions, Sahabas. So that's what the modern Christians, who I think most of them, I cannot talk behalf all of them, but the most of them, that's what really attracting them, that they have what in the old time was, that it was a prophet of God, it was 12 apostles, 12 followers who represented the 12 tribes of Israel, and the priesthood which is established. Now with Joseph Smith, he established that. I think that's the only Christian church who has one prophet and 12 apostles and 70. So all those things which existed on those old times existing in the Mormon Church. Even the priesthood levels, everything exists what was originally built up after Jesus died. They had 70s. I mean, according to the book, Jesus died. So they say when the first 7th church was established in Greece, it was built up a priesthood and a chief apostle who was Peter. So they have the same. They built up, so the Mormon Church, Joseph Smith built up exactly the same structure of church system which was established by the first Orthodox Christians. So that's what attracting the Christians who embracing the religion of or the doctrines of the Mormons, because nowhere you can find such a Very well organized, I have to say, very well organized church, and it can really blind you. It can really, don't forget, Satan is half what he says is true, and half what he says is lie. Am I right? So that's what attracting them, a big part based on logic, and that is no proof, but just logic. And because it is new and it goes back to the real Orthodox church, how it was established, and the priesthood was revealed, and Moses and Elijah came back to Joseph Smith. So all those things was revealed and brought back to the religion, they say, which was forgotten or lost. So that's why many Christians who have knowledge about the Bible, they immediately, like a candy, catch on it, because it was after Jesus left Jerusalem, peace be upon him, not died but left there. So it's gone. Apostasy, and they killed Peter. So the first chief of apostle was killed in Rome, and everything was lost. So it was corrupted by Paul, made a new church, a new system. They used to go to synagogue. So the first Christians, and they had their Sabbath not on the Sunday. I have to say, the Mormons, they try to do their best, but they have a lot of new innovation and doctrines in it which has nothing to do with Christianity, and no Christians ever would admit or accept them as Christians. They claim themselves as Christian church, but no, they are not church, they are sects. They are not even by the Pope and by any Christians, they are not accepted as a church, because their doctrines is totally different from the basic doctrines of the Christian.